Namaste. I decided to share my spiritual experiences with all my viewers and people who are interested in spiritual life. Now, usually in Hinduism and the spiritual community, people tend to uh, suppress or hide or keep it a secret, their own spiritual realizations, because it's often thought that when you share and make your spiritual experiences public, it might often take away the energy or the power of it, and or sometimes even the spiritual aspirant might feel uh, self-conceited and think that this is like I'm special or something. uh, I don't think I have those kind of fears in me, because for me spiritual experience is any kind of experience that is beyond your five senses and which contributes to your transformation, even if it be in a very small way. So any experience beyond your five senses which is which reveals some kind of a truth to you and which transforms your pattern of thinking, your way of thinking, your complete way of looking at life. So, and one more reason why I'm sharing this is so that the people who think, especially Hindus who think that spiritual experiences are a very far off thing and the road is a very long one and years of practice is needed and this and that, to them this is my answer, that it's not that you have to go on spiritual life, you have to walk this way for lifetimes and then you start having experiences. It's not that. If you are really dedicated to this life, to spiritual life, if you really yearn and just keep practicing with full faith that you can have anything, it might, it might start happening at any time of your life. So well, let's begin. I'll start with my own spiritual experience which I had first, the major experience. I will only share the major experiences and I won't be mentioning the smaller spiritual experiences. So maybe when I was 13 years or 14 years of age, in school I was in maybe class 8, 9, 10 somewhere. At that time I was reading with full, like, very much interest and spending a lot of time reading books of Swami Vivekananda. And during that time, once it happened that while I was reading something uh, of his complete works, I kept the book aside and I was just standing actually, and wasn't thinking. Suddenly all my thoughts had stopped and I was just blank and I was standing, and suddenly my third eye, just this part, it kind of opened up, and all I saw was infinite light. That's all. That's what I saw. And I wasn't even conscious of my own separate individual identity or this body. All that I saw was, it was light and infinite light all around, everywhere, all over the universe, kind of thing. It was just light, energy, pure light. I I don't know how long I was immersed in that kind of a state, but when I came back to my awareness, I realized that the sun had set and it had become a bit dark in the room, and it might have been for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. I don't quite remember. And because it was a separate room in our house, so nobody noticed it, and because it was a very large house, we had a lot of privacy. That is one advantage I think people should have. A large house gives privacy and space to all the individual members of the house, of the family. So because we had a very large house, I had that privacy and space to myself. So it wasn't that people uh, came and continuously interfered in my own space. So anyway, so that experience, I didn't realize what it was, or I didn't try to understand it, or you know calculate about it or analyze it. But one thing that it did to me, which I think later on I realized, is that it transformed me and made me more open and more dedicated to spiritual life, maybe. And after that, I used to dream a lot. Nowadays, people talk about lucid dreaming and astral body projections during the state of sleep, this and that. Mm, I had a lot of dreams, and because I was following the sayings and the guidance of Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sarada Devi, and Swami Vivekananda, so I dreamt of this, all of them, all three of them, quite often, and they always kind of guided me. Or if I asked them any question, they would specifically answer those questions regarding my spiritual life. How much had I come forward, and how much left to be uh, go, matlab, how much more did I need to go, or what were the weaknesses that I had, the weaknesses upon which I needed to work. My uh, so these, they always came, they guided me, they talked to me. And one experience I had was that within these few years of my student life, was that Swami Vivekananda came, and he was like, walking about the place where I was living, all the rooms and everything, and he came and sat down on a sofa. And I said, oh, like this is history, like you are living here in our house, and this is going to be a historical event. And he smiled, he didn't answer. And it was such an experience that for days after that, I was in a state of complete joy and bliss and everything, that, oh, Swami Vivekananda lives in our house uh, with our family. And anyway, so these several experiences are there during my student life. And uh, if I remember any other dream in which specifically I want to share, I will share that afterwards. And after I joined the order as a monastic member, kind of as a brahmacharini, like that is a celibate member of Sri Sardamat. I had been in Sardamat for 10 years. I had joined in 2003, and I left the order, left Sri Sardamat uh, in 2013. So it was a total 10 years that I lived there. After 2013 till 2019, till date, till now, I have been living in this village of Patia in Almora, Uttarakhand, India. And I have, while living here in the order, I really didn't have any spiritual experience. But only this, that I had a lot of opportunity to read lots of books, spiritual books, which in many ways I think that was also a guidance, that I found those books and I had the opportunity to read those very advanced spiritual books, is also a very like blessing to me. And I think that is what uh, that is the main thing that those 10 years of my life was about, that is reading, 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 and getting to know and like getting clear about the ideas of spiritual life. What am I supposed to expect and what am I not supposed to expect? Now, regarding this thing, also, I want to say that our understanding is very different from person to person to person. So, a book of supposing Edgar Casey, uh, if you give that book to someone, his life might or might not be touched by it. But if one is very ready for spiritual evolution, and supposing somebody is very ready to just fly off and dedicate oneself and evolve spiritually, so any books by Edgar Casey, Eckhart Tolle, and these books are like huge gateways almost, which opened up new ways of looking at spiritual life. So I read a lot of books. That is what those 10 years were about. After leaving Sardamat and being here, I was blessed again by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna Dev, also Sarda Vivekananda, also Aurobindo and Mother, because I admire and revere and uh, am devoted to them also. And especially Mother and Sri Sarada Devi. Like I connect to God in a way that a child would connect to mother. So continuously it was like ma, like take care of everything. Uh, During these years, I also felt connected to many saints who have who were on earth maybe several decades ago or several years ago. I felt connected even to Mahavatar Babaji and sought his blessings and guidance whenever I needed. Uh, and I had many spiritual experiences even after having come here. So I'll make another separate video about that, the experiences of these 6 years of my life. Now, I just want to say that all spiritual seekers can have these experiences, and it's not that someone else is special, someone else is special. You are special. Everyone is special. So wherever you are, no matter where you are positioned in life, it's not necessary that you leave your home and become a sadhu or something. No, wherever you are in life, whatever it is that you are doing, just if you connect yourself with God and if you keep yourself open, then you are always guided by God. And it doesn't matter how you connect to God. It might be that you connect to God as Jesus or Krishna or Ram or someone, Hanumanji or something. You may connect to God as universe and as absolute consciousness, as a guardian, as a elder friend, sister. Doesn't matter how you connect. It's just that you should feel the connectedness in any way that suits you, so that whenever you seek guidance, whenever you seek help, you always find that within yourself, or through signs that you see outside in your life. So just be open and spend a little time in meditation every day for at least 15-20 minutes, if an hour or half an hour, as much as you want to, whether or not you can. Any form of meditation that suits you, any form of meditation that you like, and then just keep doing it, and you will evolve, and a whole new world will open up to you. It's such a blessing to be on the spiritual way of life, such a blessing to be connected with the absolute consciousness, such a blessing to feel that you are cared for, that you are being taken care of, you are guided, and you are always safe and secure, and you know that the God consciousness is always with you. So stay blessed, and I'll keep sharing my spiritual experiences to rather console and inspire and push everyone a little bit more, that come on, like we all can have these. And it's such a joy and bliss to be connected. Thank you and namaste.